Hi guys, it's me once again, that proud black woman. I'm here to say a big thank you to all of you that have watched my videos. I didn't even believe that people would be positive about it because I've received a lot of text messages and emails saying, oh, that was a good job. Thanks for sharing. Like, I didn't think it was going to go that far. In fact, on the day it was shown at work, the vice president of my work actually found my number and sent me a text message saying thanks for sharing and all that. Like, I was surprised because I was just saying a little bit of my experience. Now, disclaimer before we move on. The experiences that were shared in that video, first of all, my experiences and the experiences of my family. In no way am I saying that that happens to all the black people that live abroad. So please, let's take that out of it. Another thing is a lot of my family, things that I spoke about, I didn't confirm with them to if I could share. So that's like a big issue because I didn't tell them before sharing, which is their private matters that I shouldn't just share without asking. But henceforth, every time I have to share anything, I would ask them first. And also, I'll try as much because my family has also said to try not to like mention names of organizations because I don't want to get in trouble. So anything I'm going to be saying, I wouldn't be mentioning the exact name of the organization. So today I thought about talking about my experiences working in Ireland because I studied in Ireland and I stayed there for a few years before moving to Canada in 2015. So I did my master's degree in Ireland and I worked there for like maybe a couple of, I think the most part of 2014 I was working. So, but as I said, where I was working, at first I studied in Dublin and then I moved, once I finished my studying, I moved to another county to stay with my uncle. And that saved me a lot of money. I didn't have to pay for rent. So, but I was looking for jobs and I couldn't get one. But fortunately, one of their friends, which is another auntie of mine, like Africans, everybody's our auntie. So once they're nice to you and you speak the same language, they're basically your auntie. So this lady, she's a physiotherapist, and where she works with a place for intellectual disability. People with intellectual disabilities, a massive campus. So she told me, if you don't mind, they're looking for cleaners. They're called household staff. So they're looking for cleaners part-time. If you don't mind, you could start doing that until you get another job of your choice. So I said, why not? So she introduced me to the people. I gave my resume and everything. So I was called to do the interview. And if you remember in my last video, I said something about people laughing at me and how I got the name Kim. That was actually where I got the name Kim. Because from the day I did my interview, they were all white people. And I got to find out later on that were like only 3 black people there. And 2 of them were like my auntie that was a physiotherapist and another lady from South Africa that was like occupational therapist. So I'm the only one doing like a blue collar job. So even though they could be racist against those people, there's a limit to what they could say to their faces because most they're gonna like call you out like, what's wrong with you? Like my auntie, for example, even though those of us at home would call her by a nickname, she doesn't allow that. You have to call her a full name. Like she made that like from the start. You don't call me anything else than my full name. So that I admired about her. But with me, from the moment I said my name is blah blah blah, they were like, oh, sorry, can we call you Kim? And they laughed about it. Like it was really embarrassing. Like they laughed and said and they kept calling other people. Like if a manager walked by, they'll call, hi, come. And they'll say, oh, you Kim, could you tell her your name? And I'll be like, my name is Olufikemi. And then they will laugh as well. Like, oh, wow, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. So right from then, I got the name Kim, which was not even a part of my name. Like my name, the last 4 letters of my name is Kemi, Kemi. So I don't know where they came about the Kim, but right from that minute, they called me Kim, and I couldn't say anything because first of all, that was my first job after school. I needed the money really badly. So I didn't want to do anything that would jeopardize my chances of getting the job. So I said, yeah, it's fine. You could call me Kim, call me whatever. So from then onwards, my name became Kim, like right there and then. And I thought that was the end of it. But every time I go to work, and I am like, if I go to the cafeteria, everybody had their own groups that they sat together to eat, and they gossip a lot. Oh my God, Irish people, no offense, but you guys gossip a lot. So once I opened the door to the cafeteria and I'm coming in, you could already see that they were talking about me, like they were looking at me. And I would just go sit in my corner by myself and eat my lunch or take my break. And then they'll come to me and then ask silly questions, like really annoying questions, like, "Oh, you're from Africa?" No, I'm not from Africa. Africa is not a country. I wouldn't come to you and say, "You're from Europe." So, and that time was when Ebola was like uh, in Africa and people were dying. And when they watch the news and they look at the TV, and straight away they look at me, "Oh, do you know anybody that died of what's it called? Sorry, not corona. Of sorry guys, my phone died on me because I'm using a phone and I didn't plug it." So they look at me and they say, "Oh, do you know anybody that died of Ebola? Or are your family safe?" You idiot. No, I'm not from, I think it was Liberia or something. I'm not from Liberia, and Africa is not one place. Or they look at me and say, "Oh, I know a black lady that we used to work here together. Her name is blah, blah, blah. Do you know her?" I'm like, "Excuse you? Know who?" Like, it's so funny. How am I supposed to know? So because I'm black, everybody else that is black, I have to know them. Like, it's ridiculous. The person might not even be, "Oh yeah, the person is from Africa as well." So can I just say, do you know Sheila from, I don't know, she's white, we used to work together, do you know her? Like, these things, you guys need to sensitize yourself. Like, when I used to go on vacation to the UK while I was in university, somebody asked me if there was moon in Africa. Moon, like, isn't that like ridiculous? And it shows how dumb some people could be, because thinking about it, the earth has one moon, so why are you asking me if there's moon in Africa? Yeah, there's moon in Africa. And the other day, somebody was asking me, "Oh, do you see like lions and giraffes and stuff like that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, I know as much as you know. Like, I know domestic animals like dogs and cats. I don't see crocodiles walking around the place. I haven't seen those. I don't know what you watch on TV where they show people that are like giant and skinny and they have beads all over their faces and things like that. No, that's not what Africa actually looks like. Like, I don't get it. So when they ask these questions, like, it pisses me off, but I can't show that, because then it goes to the stereotype of people being black, which comes about my name. I didn't say that my black woman. I said that proud black woman, because I'm proud to be black. So I don't get it. So you have to think about the things you say. Like, don't ask me silly questions or look at my hair and say, "Oh, your hair is this way or that way." Don't look at it. Go online. There's Google. Okay, check these things out, because when you ask these questions, you might think you're just asking innocently, but it pisses people off. Do your own research and don't ask silly questions from people. The other day, somebody watched Wakanda and they looked at me and said, "Oh, do you speak that? You also speak that language too?" I said, "I don't." Like, Wakanda was, I feel like it was made up, because I don't know if there's an actual country that has that name or that has that city. But why would you look at me and say, "Oh, do you know anybody from Wakanda?" It's a movie. It's a movie. What's wrong with you? There are no superheroes anywhere. Don't ask me those questions. And I made a joke about it. I was like, "Yeah, we hop from trees to trees in Africa. Like, we use leaves to cover our boobs and our bum," because I felt like that's silly. I was being sarcastic anyway. So stop asking silly questions, right? Don't just think about what those, and it's so ridiculous that when you watch movies, they always show the worst part of Africa that we Africans haven't even seen ourselves. Like, I wasn't living in poverty, living back in Nigeria. I haven't, and this is funny, I haven't even been to a zoo until this year when I went with my son to the zoo. I've never been to the zoo, so I've never seen a lion, whatever. I've only seen cows, goats, like domestic animals like dogs and cats, like every one of you. So why would you think that in Africa there are like snakes and gorillas just walking all around the place? I was speaking with my sister yesterday after she saw this video that I posted, and she was like, thinking about it, like she was raised, she experienced racism in so many ways, to the extent that somebody from where she was working in Manchester, UK, called her a monkey for using her pen. That's ridiculous. And like she said, the customer that was right in front of her was like dumbfounded, like she was like literally opening her mouth, like, and she just kept quiet about it. And this is in the UK. So I told her, would you like me to get your version of the story on my channel? And she's like, oh, I'm camera shy for now, maybe later. So if you want to listen to that part of the story, comment down below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will try my best to get her to tell her story, because she went through a lot. I haven't shown the video that I made before to my dad, because I don't know if he's comfortable as well with me posting a family story. So I'm going to talk to him, and I know he had a lot of encounters with people that were racist against him. I wouldn't mind if he could, like, if I could get him to tell his own version of the story, like an interview kind of thing, and I can post it as well. So if you want to listen to that as well, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know. Right now I don't have a social media because I didn't know that people were going to watch my videos, but I could create one. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I could create one and I'll always post it. So thank you so much for watching. I know that this is like out of the blue, like I just woke up and I was like, you know what, let me make another video and see how it goes. I'm interested in talking more about racism. If you want me to interview you, if you want your story to be heard, please contact me in the comment, contact me and I'll reach out to you. You can give me your story and I can post it here. Like, we have to work together and make sure that this thing called racism gets cured forever. It's been too long, 400 years that we've been suffering because of the color of our skin. So please let me know and we'll go on from there. My kids just came in, so I'm going to end this video right here. All right, bye guys.